Are you a comic collector on a budget? Are you looking for some new back issues to add to your collection that won't break the bank? If either of those sound like you, then this is the video for you. In this video, I'm counting down my latest list of the top 10 comics for a $20 budget. Let's go. This video is brought to you by Otis. We'll have more on them later. In a world where $8 to $10 new single issues aren't all that uncommon, a $20 budget for back issues may seem like it won't go very far. But don't worry, I've scoured the back issue bins to bring you 10 great books that you can add to your collection on a $20 budget. And I didn't stop there. Stick around to the end of the video as I'm throwing in a bonus 11th book for you. Swinging into the number 10 spot is Spider-Gwen number 1. This book was published by Marvel Comics in April of 2015. Spider-Gwen number 1 provided the breakout star of the Edge of Spider-Verse series with her own title for the very first time. Written by Jason Latour and drawn by Robbie Rodriguez, Spider-Gwen number 1 is an affordable way to get a little Spider-Gwen into your collection if Edge of Spider-Verse 2 has priced itself out of reach for you. Number 1 issues are typically collectible, and this one is proving to be just another example of that. Let's take a trip all the way back to the 90s for the number 9 book. And what is more 90s than Top Cow's Witchblade number 10, which comes in the number 9 spot. This November 1996 issue features the first appearance of Jackie Estacado, a mob enforcer that would go on to become the Darkness. This issue was written by Mark Silvestri and includes art from Silvestri and the late, great Michael Turner. If you're looking for Jackie's first appearance as the Darkness, you'll want to check out Darkness number 1, which was released the following month. If Mom Jeans can make a comeback, the reemergence of Witchblade and the Darkness doesn't seem all that far-fetched. The big three are all the rage in the MCU right now. In case you missed Falcon and the Winter Soldier, the big three are androids, aliens, and wizards. Conjuring its way into the number 8 spot is a wizard book, New Avengers number 53. This July 2009 issue was written by Brian Michael Bendis with art from Billy Tan. In the story, the Avengers head to New Orleans in search of the new Sorcerer Supreme. To their surprise, Brother Voodoo shows up sporting the Eye of Agamotto, claiming the title of Sorcerer Supreme. Easier on the pocketbook than a Strange Tales 169, New Avengers 53 is an affordable Brother Voodoo spec book that's worth checking out. In July 1983, the DC title Brave and the Bold hit a milestone with the release of Brave and the Bold number 200, which is our number 7 book. Sporting a Jim Aparo cover, the Mike Barr written and Jim Aparo drawn story titled Introducing Batman and the Outriders features a number of first appearances including the Outriders, Katana, and Geoforce. Typically when characters make their way to the big screen, their first appearances tend to increase in price. Unfortunately for Katana, who was prominently featured in the first Suicide Squad movie, this book remains extremely affordable. The new Spider-Man No Way Home trailer just dropped and everything Sinister Six is absolutely catching fire. The number 6 book gives you all of the Sinister Six goodness you crave with the affordability your bank account can handle. Coming in at number 6, conveniently, is Marvel Tales 150, which reprints Amazing Spider-Man Annual number 1, the first appearance of the Sinister Six. Published in April 1983, this issue reprints the classic Stan Lee and Steve Ditko story titled simply The Sinister Six. This one is currently coming in under our $20 budget, but as the demand for Sinister Six issues increases, books like Amazing Spider-Man 337 and Marvel Tales 150 will likely emerge as budget-friendly alternatives to Amazing Spider-Man Annual number 1. Thanks for watching this far. If we're just meeting, my name is Drew Stewart and I'm the owner of Como Comic Books, a comic book vendor based out of Columbia, Missouri. On our YouTube channel, we focus on bringing you the best tips and tricks to help you take your comic collection to the next level. If you're getting value out of the video so far, do me a favor and hit the like button. And also, don't forget to watch to the end of the video for a bonus 11th book you can pick up on a $20 budget. Now, let's dive into the number 5 book. A frosty entry graces the number 5 spot in our list today. Coming in at number 5 is the Batman Adventures Holiday Special number 1. This book was published in January of 1995 and features 5 holiday-themed Batman stories, with the jewel among them being White Christmas, which focuses on the cold-hearted Mr. Freeze. White Christmas was written by Paul Dini and drawn by Glenn Murakami, with a Bruce Timm Mr. Freeze cover. Arguably the best Mr. Freeze story ever written, this one is well worth the price of admission just for the story alone. But if that's not enough for you, it also features a very early Harley Quinn appearance in a story titled The Harley and the Ivy, featuring Harley and Poison Ivy. With a major supporting role on the horizon in Spider-Man No Way Home, and the sequel to his own movie right around the corner, Doctor Strange books are hitting a lot of people's radars right now. In the number 4 spot is a book that caught the eye of speculators earlier this year, Doctor Strange number 81. This February 1987 issue has a few things going for it. First, it's the final issue of Doctor Strange Volume 2. Typically, last issues tend to be a little more difficult to track down, and on top of that, Doctor Strange 81 features the first appearance of Rentrop, an alien minotaur with an affinity for the mystic arts. Briefly appearing in the previous issue, the market puts more stock in issue 81, as it has emerged as one of a handful of issues of Doctor Strange Volume 2 that have crawled out of the dollar bins this year. One of the most popular intellectual properties of the back half of the 1990s was Pokemon. The same year that Pokemon Red and Blue were released in the United States, comic book publisher Viz released Pokemon number 1 in November of 1998. From the original Game Boys to the collectible card game that would be released in December of 1998, Pokemon was absolutely everywhere by year's end. Pokemon number 1 will only set you back around $15 right now, and let's be honest, it's not likely to reach the astronomical values realized by a PSA 10 first edition Charizard. But if you like to collect comics and Pokemon hits you right in the nostalgia button, then Pokemon number 1 is a book you should add to your list. This video is brought to you by Otis. What is Otis, you might ask? Otis is an alternative investment platform where you can buy and sell shares of cultural assets, including contemporary art, sneakers, and collectibles such as comic books and video games. It's as simple as downloading the Otis app and signing up for the service for free. Then just watch for the weekly drops of new assets, or you can search the catalog of previous drops to choose which items you'd like to invest in. From there, you simply manage your portfolio by staying up to date with the latest news and pricing information on your investments. And when the time comes, you can either sell your shares to other Otis members, or you can receive a proportional return on your investment if Otis sells the item you've invested in for more than the price at which you bought your shares. At the time of recording this video, there were some great key comic books available. The latest comic book drop is a CGC 9.8 Special Marvel Edition 15, which features the first appearance of Shang-Chi, the Master of Kung Fu. Previous drops include a CGC 9.6 copy of Daredevil number 1 with off-white white pages, and X-Men number 1 CGC 9.2 with white pages, a CGC 9.8 Tomb of Dracula 10, which features the first appearance of Blade the Vampire Slayer, as well as an Incredible Hulk 181 and a CGC 9.8, a giant-size X-Men number 1 CGC 9.8, and let's round it out with a CGC 9.8 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles number 1 first print. Be sure to download the app and check out all of the available drops. Sign up for Otis with the link in my description, and you'll get your first share free when you fund your account. Terms do apply. Now, let's get back into the list. Coming in the number 2 spot is Ghost Rider Volume 2, Number 2, the first appearance of Blackout. Published in June of 1990, Blackout is another character from Marvel's supernatural sandbox that has caught the eye of speculators in recent months. Let me break it down for you. The Darkhold was in WandaVision. Vampires are closely linked with the Darkhold in Marvel Comics. And Blackout is a vampire. It seems plausible enough to me. Currently valued right at $20, this book is one you can likely find in discount bins still. In fact, I just found one in a discount bin this past weekend. In a story titled Do Be Afraid of the Dark, Howard Mackie and Javier Salteras continue the tale of the new Ghost Rider, Danny Ketch. Keep an eye out for the newsstand edition, which may give you a little extra boost in value one day if this book does take off. In just a few short months, a new MCU film called The Eternals will be released. In a case of the least creative casting ever, Kit Harington has been cast as the Black Knight, which has sent books like Avengers 47 and 48 into the upper atmosphere. Don't despair though. Our #1 book, Black Knight #1, is a budget-friendly alternative for collectors who want to add a little Dane Whitman to their collection without breaking the bank. Published in June of 1990, this Roy Thomas and Tony DeZuniga book is the first solo series for Dane Whitman's Black Knight. Though the series was a short-lived 4-part miniseries, it's still accessible for most collectors, which is never a bad thing. $20 sounds much better for a Black Knight #1 compared to the hundreds of dollars it would likely take you to pick up an Avengers 48 in the current market. And there you have it, another top 10 comics list completed. But before I reveal the bonus book, I want to take a quick moment to thank the community. We recently hit 6,500 subscribers and are already on our way to 7,000 subs. This year's goal for the channel was to hit 10,000 subs, and while we still have a fair amount of ground to cover, I'm honestly humbled by the progress we've made this year. Don't forget that we'll be having our first giveaway when the channel reaches the 10,000 subscriber mark. Now, let's get to that bonus book. Our bonus book for this top 10 comics on a $20 budget video is Ghost Rider Volume 2 #1. This May 1990 issue includes the first appearances of Deathwatch and the new Ghost Rider Danny Ketch. And let's not forget to mention the new Hell Cycle that makes Johnny Blaze's dirt bike kind of look like that old Huffy that's buried in the back of your mom's garage. Happy hunting out there, and don't forget to collect responsibly. I'll see you in the next one.